Similar to last week, but this time we have a Ryzen 9600X. Yeah, Zen 5, AM5 with a 9060 XT. So it's going to be an interesting build today. And we're just going to chill, you know, sit back, relax, and kind of just build this. And you guys ask me questions, hang out, that kind of thing. Now, I have an extra camera that's not turning on. It worked, and now it's not working. So I think I'm going to unplug that and plug it back in and see if that works. Let's see. There we go. Welcome. That's my DJI Pocket 3 right there. And then at the click of a button, I can switch back to my main camera. So we're going to be able to get close-ups, and then also I can come back and talk to you guys over here. I know this camera doesn't look that amazing, but it's kind of cool what we can do with this multi-camera setup. Fixed it in one stream, and then we had all kinds of audio issues. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the PC building glory. I know I kind of lost some people from not having audio, but it's whatever, is what it is. We're still learning with the whole streaming thing. So I'm going to go ahead and probably put this GPU down so I don't drop it. I had my box cutters here somewhere, and I lost them. But here we go. The box cutters. Opening up this Ryzen 9600X. Just now came in today. Pretty good deal on this bad boy. Got it for $190 off Newegg, and it came with 16 gigs of DDR5. So, oh, and great. Dropped right out of there. Here's that Ryzen chip. Let's see if we can get a close-up. All right, what up, Sawyer? Oh, I'm gonna switch to the DJI. What up, Sawyer? How you doing, man? We're installing this Ryzen CPU right now. It's a 9600X, so it seems pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the camera. All right, so now you can guys get a visual of me on the motherboard down here. This is the B60M Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. Got this for $100. I won the Newegg Shuffle, so pretty good deal. Totally just dropped that, but fine. All right, the AM5 board to rule them all. Got that cool little red light on it. Think that looks nice. It's got 4 DDR5 slots, 2 Gen 4 NVMe slots, and then a PCIe Gen 4 16 slot up here. So, yeah, I'll get a close up of you guys, or the CPU, so you guys can see me doing that. Never actually done an AM5 CPU before. This will be interesting to say the least. So There we go. Let's see if I can get even closer. But yeah, let's see how this goes. I mean, this chip is pretty nice. 6 cores for like this amount of money, I'm not too keen on. But you know, the upgrade path and the platform, something to be said about that, about Ryzen. So we'll see how this thing performs. Obviously, multi-core, it's going to be way behind the 14600K, but when it comes to just straight up gaming and single core, it's probably on par, maybe even a little bit better. But let's go ahead and put this CPU in the socket here. And there we go. Voila. Oh, Ryzen 9600 in the socket. Okay, now we have a bit of a bigger view here. The RAM we're using today is some DDR5 32 gig kit, 6,000 mega transfers per second. So nothing crazy or anything. I actually got this for free with my 265K way back when. I was just making sure I didn't turn off anything. I've been stepping on some wires. Well, that's cool. I switched. I don't see any comments in the chat. How many people are watching right now? Oh, we only have 4. Dang. Well, that's what happens when you get a rocky start, I guess. I guess there's can be people that come back and watch this. But yeah. DDR5, 6,000. Not too crazy. Bada bing, bada boom. Next up, we have this NVMe SSD. It's a Gen 4. It actually gets up to 7 gigabytes per second read and write. So it's actually pretty quick. It's a King spec drive. You can see that. So it's not like a well-known brand, but 55 bucks for a terabyte. Couldn't say no. This is Ripjaw's RAM. I think it's G-Skill, right? Ripjaws is G-Skill, if I remember correctly. Why is this so hard to open? I swear it's only hard to open on camera. There we go. Little NVMe screw came out. I don't think I'm going to need that. I think the motherboard has what we need. There is the NVMe. It's in focus. It's got a little red heat sink on it. Heat sticker, more like. So yeah. Don't forget to peel the sticker when you do this. I can hardly see it. There we go. I finally clicked in. It's nice on this motherboard because it's got a heatsink and screw in at the same time. So like as I screw in the heatsink, it also screws in the NVMe. And this bottom one's a toolless little plug there. So yeah, we have the RAM. We also got the SSD, and then we have the CPU. That's the first things I usually do. Next thing I would want to do is get the CPU bracket on for the cooler. Let's hope I get this on quicker than I did last time. It is AMD, so it's going to be a little bit different, but we're using the same CPU cooler as we did last time. It's the, what's it called? Gamma A40 BK. And, out of the box, this thing, the 14600K was kind of thermal throttling, but once I put an undervolt and everything on it, it was fine. This thing's not too huge. Let me pull it out for you guys. That's what it looks like. It's a really good looking cooler. It's just kind of small. Like it's a little bit smaller than your average fan. This fan's not a 120. I think it's like a, what would you call it? 140. All right, so we have to get the right bracket here. See AMD, that's all for Intel. And then AMD has their own little backplate. AMD's motherboards come with backplates. Intel's does not, right? I may have to look at the instructions for this because I've never even installed a cooler on AM5 to begin with, right? And I've never used a CPU cooler on AM5. So it says these are going to go on like that. Okay. But yeah, this thing will be my space heater. Well, it is using a Ryzen 9600. It's only 6 cores, and then it's going to be using a 9060 XT. So actually, this thing's going to be really power efficient, guys. Yeah, the cooler, I think the cooler will be totally fine for the Ryzen 9600, to be honest with y'all. How do you like the dual camera setup? I think it's pretty cool. I have a Pocket 3 over here, and then my Sony ZV-E10 over there. So thought, why not use both? That one's over, what do you call it? The 8 mini HDMI, and then this one's over USB-C. Yeah, let's see if I can get a close-up on the motherboard. I need to bring in the camera closer with like an angle. There you go. See, I probably should have switched it to this camera when I moved because I know it gets all wobbly, but just bear with me, guys. Yeah, I do need an overhead cam. I mean, I could mount one of these as an overhead cam. Like I could mount my main camera as overhead cam and then have the Pocket 3 a little bit closer, like just set it right here. It's actually really cool. My Pocket 3 has a magnetic case on it right now, and it's attached to my gaming computer. I'll show you guys with this camera in a minute, but it's actually really cool. It's just using the force of magnetism attached to my 5090 gaming PC. But yeah, let's go ahead and put this on. It said like this. It has like built-in plastic standoffs. That's nice, gotta say. I just have to find where I put the screws at. Where the heck did... Oh, they're right here. Yep, don't twist your whole motherboard around like I did right there. Yeah, right here. You know, AM5 is finally getting to the point where I can kind of like recommend it for like budget builders, you know? DDR, it's mostly because the platform like DDR5 is really coming down and motherboards are coming down. Like the CPU prices for AM5 haven't been too bad. Like the Ryzen 7500F like it was on AliExpress for like $120 for like the longest time. But like the motherboards, dude, and the DDR5 prices just kind of like it didn't make sense for someone like me building builds to flip. It didn't really make sense to invest that much in your CPU when really you won't see any gains because you would have to get a really expensive GPU to max that out. Now it's getting to the point where, you know, I can market this as like upgradability, and the platform cost isn't that much. Like, right, this motherboard was $100. Okay. This RAM I got for free with my 265K. I'm going to value it at $60. And then the CPU is $190, but it came with a free kit of RAM. I'll value it $30. It was two 8 gig sticks of DDR5. I mean, it's more worth like $50 for that RAM, but it's whatever. So really, I mean, this platform is probably close to like $300, which I think is pretty good. I'd still rather go with like a 14600K if you never plan to upgrade. But if you plan to upgrade, you know, AM5 is pretty nice. It's just that the 14600K is going to perform better than this CPU, I believe. Definitely multi-core. It's going to take more power to get there, though. So yeah, we have the CPU bracket on now. Was able to do that much quicker because I didn't have to install the back plate. I'm going to just double check, make sure this is tight. I don't want to over torque it. But... And, you know, at this point, I am going to be interested in putting this thing in the case. Now, you may be wondering what case did I go with, and I went with the exact same case as we used last time, guys. That's kind of how PC flipping goes. You find one that works and you just rinse and repeat. You know, you just bang them out. This Sama case for $65, man. It's actually $60 because it came with a $5 Newegg gift card. It's insane because it has these infinity fans. It has a whole RGB controller, and then it's got the fish tank design, and it's just it can't be beat, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring that case out right quick. Also position this camera so you guys can see it. Oh my gosh, there's so much trash up here already. I have to keep this CPU box because it's the first Ryzen CPU box I've gotten. Ryzen AM5. I bought a 7500F. It did not come with a box, so I kind of want to keep this just to have one. I know my wife probably won't like that, but and it's weird. I think it came in this black tray, if not mistaken. I was expecting some sort of cardboard like Intel's coming. Oh, I'll deal with that later. Throw that over there. Throw some of this trash away. Clear my way. Here's the case. I really like this case. It's a good one. It's called the Sama ZV or no SV02. It's in the link in the description. So go ahead and pick this up. Cannot recommend it enough for the $60, $65 price range I usually find it in. So let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, now it's bare bones. We have any more comments? Yeah, no. I have a feeling not a lot of people are watching. We only have 9. That's not bad, I guess. Yeah, but let's go ahead and start. I don't need the instructions for this. Come on. The first thing we're going to do is install our IO shield. Make sure it lines up. Yeah, it's going to go in that way, I believe. Yes, it's going to go in that way. Now this part, you can always cut your fingers doing. All right, done. I got to get these screws out of this thing now. Good thing I have my trusty wire cutters. Usually cases will come with a bag of screws to help you kind of build within their specific case. Usually they'll have a lot more than you actually need, and I recommend kind of hoarding that extra screws instead of throwing them away. So if you ever do another build, you'll have all the screws you'll need in the world. See, I have like little screw holder kind of like this. Really comes in handy. I just throw all my screws in there when I'm done with the build. Yeah, you built your own PC last weekend. Congrats. What's the specs on it, brother? You know, guys, and also I was thinking about the market right now, and honestly, right now is an amazing time to build. Prices are really low. Pretty much across the board. Even GPUs are coming down to MSRP, even below MSRP. I think if you want to max out something like 1080p, the 5070 is absolute beast right now. I've seen it as low as $500 in stock at Walmart. So I would recommend the 5070. Now, if you don't have a ton of money, the B580 is a great buy at $250. And then there's kind of, you know, a lot of people recommend the 5060 Ti 16 gig and 9060 XT 16 gig. I would go with the 9060 XT 16 gig if you can really get it for $350 and you're pretty tight on cash. Other than that, you're going to want to spring for a 5070 because it's like 40% even more performance than both of those other GPUs. They're kind of in a no lands territory where they have 128-bit bus and like they kind of cost a high amount for that for what you're getting. It's nice they have a lot of VRAM, but personally, I mean, if you're spending that much, you should get a decent GPU die out of it, right? So that's kind of what I think. I have to lick my fingers and touch the desk. Okay, there. What is that going to do? Is that going to... now my fingers are just wet. Is that going to make sure there's no static shock? I will tell you guys right now, I've never had an issue with static shock. Never tried anything to prevent static shock. Now, I don't work in an area with carpet, but honestly, it's not a big deal in my experience at all. Okay, let's go ahead and put in the motherboard. And I don't know what kind of camera angle I should do for this. Maybe I should show you guys a little bit closer. So I'll switch to this one and move the camera. Oh, static shock. Yeah, that doesn't really, I don't think it's a big deal. All right, so now we're going to switch to the computer cam. Put this bad boy in. Oh, I'm just not realizing this motherboard's like really wide. Right, got that in. I'm going to go ahead and get some of these screws out, find the motherboard screws. It's really hard to see in this light. Just like blaring light everywhere. I like to separate them beforehand. Usually that's like the one thing that I use from the case screws is getting motherboard screws or either standoffs. For whatever reason, this case does not come with standoffs. So I'm not going to put all the standoffs down for this motherboard, unfortunately, just because this case doesn't have it. It's totally fine as long as you have the majority of, I would say if you have 75% of the standoffs, you're good. Dude, no, these fans came with the case. They're Sama fans. No, it doesn't sound like the highest quality, but they look great. And from my experience, they perform well. Yeah, go ahead and look in the link in the description for all cases and all supplies. They're all there. I cannot recommend this case enough. I've already bought like 5 of them. I keep on ordering them because they just sell like hotcakes when I'm flipping. So what do you boys think of the market right now? Because I'm torn. TSMC just recently said they're going to increase prices for both 3 nanometer and 2 nanometer, and I just don't know, man. Like right now, prices don't seem too bad, and I feel like it could get a lot worse if we have another AI boom. With new nodes coming out, I think there's always going to be. Oh, there's no screw there. Kind of a tech fever, right? If new tech comes out, new nodes, new products, people are going to get in a tech frenzy and want to buy things for higher than they should. And that's going to increase the prices. And not only the newest stuff, but also the older stuff. So like, I don't know if it's cope, but 5090 at MSRP is a good deal. Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. I think I've only got another screw or two left. All right, so we're just missing two screws with that thing. That's totally fine. It's the bottom two. So yeah, now we have our motherboard mounted. The next step I usually like to do is put, well, the very next step would be to hook up your power switch, your front audio, and your front USB, just because the power supply can kind of get in the way of that. I'm going to do that next, and then I'm going to put in the power supply. Okay. After that, the build's almost done. I mean, we just got to put on a CPU cooler, which this CPU cooler is so easy once you got the mount on, and cable extensions, GPU, then we're done. Hardest part's out of the way. I would say the hardest part is usually mounting the CPU bracket and or cooler if it's an AIO, and usually installing like the IO shield or whatever. That sometimes can really trip me up. Other than that, yeah, 5090 is 2K right now. That's a good deal. I agree, bro. It's a bargain. If you need it. If you need it for your work or whatever, it's a bargain. If not, I mean, you can make a 5070 Ti work, right? I'm curious, is Sawdog still in the chat? Yeah, I've seen him comment a little bit. I asked him actually today if on the next one of these I do, if he wants to be the cameraman. He's my IRL friend. Thank you. I do look like Superman. Um, Yeah, but if Sawdog would be my cameraman for one of these, I mean, the dual cameras help, but he'd be able to like come in and out. That'd be kind of cool. All right. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do the front panel USB, also the front panel audio, and then power switch. I thought I was talking on this one, but yeah. Okay. Tom Cruise. Thanks, dude. Well, I am 25 years old and he's like 60, but he looks really good for 60. Okay. Some people actually find that this front USB cord is one of the hardest things, dude. Like this, y'all see what this is? I can't even see right now. Like I'm behind the computer completely. Um, I wonder if I could just try like plugging it in through looking on this tiny screen. I don't really want to try that. Rob Lowe. Wow, thank you guys. Don't make me blush. I'm gonna look on my phone to see if Taras. I don't know if I pronounce your name right. Taras donated to me. I appreciate it. He gave me $10 off PayPal. If you guys want to donate, you can donate on stream. Also, you can donate on PayPal. Um, I can send you guys my PayPal. I should probably put it in the link in the description. I don't know if that's against YouTube rules or not. You guys can ask Tars for my PayPal if you want to donate, because if you donate through PayPal, I actually get 100% of the funds. If you donate off your iPhone through YouTube, I get 50%. If you donate off your computer through YouTube, I get 70%. So yeah, if you want to support the channel, if you like me buying this stuff, building, having better content, go ahead and donate, because, I don't get a ton of views off the live streams. It's really just the guys that donate and just come out and chill that help out. But yeah, a lot of people think that front USB is actually one of the hardest things to plug in, and they're scared of like breaking it. For me, it's not a big deal. Let's see if we can do this while getting it on camera. Dang, actually, this one is hard because this one's facing outward on this motherboard, but these fans are in the way. What the heck? This is annoying. What the heck? Why'd they build it like that? It's how they built the motherboard. I'm gonna have to go to the front to plug this in. A little bit too difficult. Okay, so I'm glad you asked this. This Sama case is so great. They actually put these fans right here. It's really hard to do this. These fans right here are actually intake. They're reverse blade. And that's crazy to see on a $60 case, I gotta say. And then this one is X-take. So, or did I say that right? Exhaust, not X-take. It's exhaust. So intake and then exhaust, right? And it's because these are reverse blade, which is crazy to see at this price point. Oh, Terrace. Okay. Sorry. Terrace donated to me. I appreciate it. And he's also the first member of the channel. Guys, I do have memberships on this channel. There's not a whole lot of benefits yet, but you do receive my recognition as a person. I will literally know you by name because right now I only have one member. So if you become a member, you'll be the second member and you'll basically be on my mind. And I'll come up with some things for you guys. Obviously, like maybe like a separate Discord channel you can just talk directly to me on, even over like video or voice. That would be kind of cool. Things like that. It's only $1 a month to be a member on the channel. So like you won't even notice being like paying that every month, and you get a little cool sticker by your name. Eventually, if you're a member for long enough, you'll actually get a silicon steak sticker that looks really cool. But okay, let's go ahead and plug this in because it is actually difficult. Oh, dang. Well then, we definitely just bent like two pins. So yeah, what people were scared of doing, you know what I was talking about, I just did. This is a big deal because this motherboard does not have front USB support. Oh no, it does actually. It does have front USB right there. USB-C. But I just bent the pins on the front USB-A. So this is a big problem. Let me see if I can fix this, like unbend the pins back. I need like I need a small screwdriver or something. Dang it. Oh, hey. Best YouTube none great number one. Dang it. Somebody with the longest username in the world just became a member. Okay. I'm going to remember this. Best YouTuber none greater number one. You are a Silicon Steak supporter. You are a Giga Chad. Thank you. And go ahead and join the Discord if you haven't already. Links in the description. It's only $1 a month. I for real, you won't notice that. That's like $12 a year. What my thinking was, if enough people liked it and enough people joined, like if there was like 1,000 people that joined, that'd be kind of crazy. That'd be nice. Um, but yeah, guys, I literally just bent the USB on this bad boy. I'm gonna plug in these other ports. There's always something that stalls you on a build longer than it should. How did that turn back on? Bro, if I bent them forever, it's is what it is. They just don't get front USB. I mean, it's not my computer. Like, they'll be fine with it. I'll just let them know. They'll still get front USB-C on this motherboard. All right, front panel plugged in, and then also we just plugged in front panel audio. We do have a USB-C cord, so I'm going to plug that in. It's always nice to have one of those. Those always crunch when they go in. That's nice. Dude, do you not know what pins I'm talking about? The pins on the front USB A. So front panel USB A, it's like a big, thick plug, female plug, and it has like a little indention in the middle, and then there's like 8 small pins, and I bent like 2 or 3 of them, like pretty bad. Dude, I know. Like this live stream was crazy. It started off and I had no sound for like 5 minutes. And then finally fixed it. I turned off my computer, turned it on. It turned out it was OBS. And now this. I mean, it wouldn't be fun without something going wrong, right? I think I'm gonna go grab tweezers actually, like out of my bathroom. I'm gonna grab some tweezers. All right, let's go ahead and try this. Lick my finger and then put it in the power supply and then turn it on. Good. Gotcha, bro. I'll try that. All right, you guys are going to see my back for a little bit. It's a good view. Okay, can y'all see it? Y'all see that? There it is. I kind of unbent it, but there's still some bent pins in there. You'll see it? So I have to get these unbent right here. But like this is supposed to like curve and like fit in there somehow. I'm not gonna lie, they're all slightly bent now, but I think I unbent it, so I'll show you a close-up. Okay, let's see. We got some suggestions in the comments. When I try to plug... Oh, I need to turn the sound off on there. When I plug in the front USB port, try pre-bending the cable. A 90-degree adapter would be amazing for this. Not gonna lie. Dude, the right angle USB port is dumb. Like, why? Did that guy ever answer what his specs were? I asked somebody what his specs was for his PC. I don't think he did. Oh no, he said i7, 32 gigs of RAM, 800 watt PSU. So what GPU though? Also, it's not a i7 Ultra, it's an Ultra 7. So you got the 265K. That's nice. That's what I have. I did fix the pins already. I think I showed you guys. Go back and look. Goober Goob. Oh my gosh, my boy Goober Goob. Welcome. We are having a good stream, man. I just bent some pins. I unbent them with some tweezers here. And now we're going to try to plug in this horrible front USB connector. It's not the connector this problem. It's the motherboard that made it a right angle adapter or connector right by these fans. So let's go ahead and try that. I am going to take his advice and bend this thing to Kingdom Come right here. I'm going to walk around and look at it from the front. You know, boys, I think what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to undo this fan, like just these two edges, and I can fit the cord through here and then put the fan back. That's the smartest thing to do in this situation because I'm going to bend it again, to be honest with y'all. See, look what I have now. It's loose, right? I don't want to cover up the whole screen, but it's hard to work. Okay, you guys, I know you can't see it, but I'm going to show you it. Oh, see? I pulled it through there. I'm going to plug it in. Oh my gosh, that doesn't even help. Bro, it's still so hard to get in there. Dude, Goober Goob, thank you, man. Here, let me change my camera. Goober goob. Hey, thank you. I'm going to stay hydrated for you. I actually don't have a water bottle in here, but I'll go grab some water after this stream. Did it just freeze up on me? Yeah, it freezed. I have no idea why. I have no idea why the camera freezed. I'll have to deactivate it. All right, there we go. Goober Goob, I'm going to stay hydrated for you. But first, I got to plug in this connector. Come on. You just see my back. Sorry. Oh, this is a better angle for sure. Dude, I don't think it's gonna go in no matter what. I think they're just too bent now. Even though I straightened them up quite a bit. They're all just slightly curved. I don't know. I feel like it should still just. I've seen it like that before, and it should still go in. Oh. Get it. Did it go? I don't have enough leverage. I think at least one of them went in, but I don't know if all of them did. That's the problem. That's probably why it's not Dang it. One of those did not go in and it bent. Dude, 24 people are watching me mess with this. Front panel USB-A. Nice. Let's get a W in the chat. Let's see if I can get it. From the brink. Oh, it's so close. I think it's bending on one. Just try. It's definitely bending one, but it's really close to getting in there. You all can see it. Yeah, dude, the jump from 11500F to a 9950 X3D is huge. That's gonna be like a off the top of my head, dude, that's probably gonna be about a 60% jump. Maybe even 90%, 60 to 90%, depending on the use case in like gaming. Let's take one more look at this. After, if I can't get it this last time, I'm probably going to give up on this one. Oh, heck no. Oh, I don't think there's any way I'm coming back from that one. I totally destroyed it. Let me see if you guys can. Let me see if I can show you all this. Holy crap. I don't even think you can see it, but there's that bottom left one. The bottom left one. Absolutely decimated. Yeah. It is a it's wrecked, bro. It's not coming back. Well, there goes that for this computer, but that's fine. I'm gonna screw this fan back in. Oops. I just hit over the back of the case right there. So yeah, they aren't going to have front USB-A, but they're going to have front USB-C, and they're going to be happy. They aren't going to be none the wiser. Man, there's so much comments. It's hard to keep up. Yeah, no, there's no way that pin. Okay, you know how a pin's supposed to be straight? It's like this. Like it's like curved left, curved right, and then bent down. It's done. It's finito. I'm giving up on that one. I know when a pin is done. I'm sorry for whoever gets this motherboard. They'll be okay. It'll be fine. Let's go ahead and do the power supply next. Right here. Here's the power supply. It is a ASRock gold. It is 650 watt ATX 3.1. It was like $50 on Newegg. Crazy deal. $10 rebate. With a $10 rebate, it was $50. So yeah, let's go ahead and open this up and get it done. Keep that for later. That is the power cord. I do testing with the power cord already plugged into the wall, and then I give them that wrapped up when I sell it to them. Actually, a very nice looking power supply. It's got this green sticker on it. Oh my gosh. Oh, no, it did that thing. It did that thing where like you peel it and it leaves residue. I hate that. And of course, it's on the outside where the customer will see it. There's an easy way to actually fix that is you get alcohol and a paper towel and wipe it off, and it comes right off with alcohol. Took me like 20 years to realize that. All right, so we're going to put this thing in where the fan's facing down. Also, there's plastic on this. So the fan can get airflow. So I'm going to put it in like that. All right, this thing came with screws. I can go ahead and use those to make it easy on myself. For some reason, the power supply is not lining up. I remember it did this last time. I'm just trying to do it from an angle where you guys can see, and it's not helping. There we go. Can't believe how much time we spent on that silly little USB-A. We were making good time on this build too before then. I'm gonna try IPA. This is peak, dude. This is peak PC building, man. All the mistakes, all the shenanigans, you're seeing it live. If I make something, if I make a really dumb mistake, like let's say I put like a gallon of thermal paste on my CPU like the Verge guy did, you guys will know. You'll see it. Then you can clown me in the comments. This is probably like my 85th PC I've ever built though, so I mean, no one teaches me how to build them, so if I make mistakes, I probably make them every time because I do it very similar. But I have a lot of experience building computers. I just built one last week. This is the one I'm building this week, and then I have two more ready to build that I'm kind of just waiting. I don't know if you guys want me to do them on live stream or not. They're going to be in the same case. So is that going to get boring? I think if you ask me more questions, it'll be less boring, but I don't know. Like, I don't think I'm answering all the questions. There's a lot of comments. I remember someone saying the 285 or the 265K was underrated. I do think it's underrated, but at the same time, I think the price has gone up a little bit since I bought it. I mean, it might be like 310 bucks, but when I got it, I got a free kit of RAM. The RAM we're using in this build, I got from my 265K purchase, and I'm just now using it. I also got Dying Light the Beast, which just also now came out, even though I got that 265K like 2 months ago. And then another thing I got was Civilization 7, all for $300. So really good deal. Also, the 265KF I think dropped to 210 on Amazon at one point. Like they're a little bit higher now. If you need the multi-core, Intel's the way for like production. If you just need gaming, it seems like Ryzen's a little bit better. Except when you go all the way down to the lowest end, the 14600K was a great deal. It's not really at that price anymore. So I could see you guys trying to go for like a 9600X really if you wanted the AM5. Because I looked on Amazon, it was like 180 bucks. It's not bad, right? For the platform. For a 6-core, it is kind of garbage, but it's what it is. What it is. Dude, the 4070 Ti Pro Art is a good card. What GPU should I upgrade to? You have a 9950X 3D. So honestly, bro, if you want like a huge upgrade, if you want something that's worth spending like $1,000 for, like that's how much GPUs cost now. I recommend waiting until you can get a GPU for twice or with that has twice the performance as the GPU you're rocking now. So the 4070 Ti is what 3090 Ti performance. You're gonna want to at least get with a 4090. It really that would be the minimum upgrade for me if I had a 4070 Ti. I had a 4080 and I jumped to a 5090, and that was about 2x. I know on Tech Power Up it doesn't say 2x, but when I tested it with ray tracing and all that, it was 2x faster. So for coming from a 4070 Ti, you're definitely going to want something like at least 4090 level, which sounds crazy. And that's kind of like the spot we're in now, where if you have like a mid high end range card, there's really nothing to upgrade to unless you just go balls in, like balls out, and just drop everything. And yeah, I don't know. That's what I had to do. Was it worth it? Yeah, it was. It was worth it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the SATA to this RGB controller. Dang it, I can't see it. All right, that's plugged in. All of our RGB is plugged in. Our fan should be plugged in. Now, the one thing I do want to do is plug in this fan header to the motherboard. I know you guys can't even see this, but we're along for the ride. These wires are kind of small. So basically, this thing comes with a fan header and an RGB header, and I'm just going to plug the fan header portion into the motherboard so we can control the fans that way. But the RGB portion I'm not going to plug in because I want total hardware control. The reset button will change the RGB. I don't want software control. Software RGB sucks, to be honest. Okay. Now, honestly, we're looking at putting in the cable extensions. I have the cable extensions right here. If you guys don't know, these are pretty much essential if you're wanting to buy a PC to flip. I got these for $15 off AliExpress. Highly, highly recommended. I have a link for an Amazon listing in the description below. You definitely need these. It increases the aesthetics of a build, makes it look high quality, even if it's not. And it just lets you sell things for pretty much like 30% more than you would have otherwise. It's gonna go in that way. It's gonna bend like that. Putting on these cable combs to make it look neat. I hate this part. It's time consuming, especially for the motherboard cord, but kind of necessary. It will be worth it for your build. Like I said, you'll be able to sell your build for higher. $6. How in the world could you get one of these for $6? I feel like the shipping alone costs $6 or more. Okay, we got one cable comb on. Okay, so I'm gonna put another one on, and after that, this one has 3 cable combs. I don't think we need 3. I'm just gonna put 2 on. That ought to be good enough. I'll save one of those cable combs for another build. This is peak PC building right here. Shipping is free to Australia from AliExpress. That's crazy. I mean, no, shipping is free off AliExpress in America too if you spend like over 15 bucks or something like that. But you can't get like a full set of cable extensions for 15 bucks. You might be able to get like, or what you said $6. Um, sure, you might be able to get just a motherboard one for $6, but I got like a whole set with like PCIe cable and CPU cable, right? All right, plug this in. Oh, yeah, that looks really good on camera. Okay. Oh, the front USB, dude, in my experience, I mean, I don't even think the front USB works on the computer I have because I bought a used motherboard. The front USB-C does, but the front USB-A doesn't. Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I've had it not work before for various reasons. A lot of the time because I bought like an AliExpress board and it just didn't work. I don't know why. And people didn't really care. They plug it into the back of their computer. Okay, let's do CPU cord next. This is 1 8-pin, so we can do that with a CPU. It's not going on. I don't think this fits for some reason. It's the same shape, so it should fit. Why is it like that? I swear, dude, the cords today. There we go. Dude, why does this take so much pressure to pop on? That's not right. I don't feel safe about that. I do not feel safe about that at all. Is it bending? It takes way too much pressure to pop on, like I'm bending something. It's okay with the front USB. It's not okay with your CPU power. That would not be ding dong good. See this right? You went from a 960 to a 1060 to a 2070 Super to a 2080. So yeah, I mean 5080 to or 3080 to 5080 is going to be upwards of like 80% probably. Probably 80%. So yeah, I mean 80% is good, really good. That's big. That's noticeable. But if you're spending $1,000, do you really just want 80%? Like don't you want like 100% or more? Dude, this cord, there's something wrong with the right cord. Oh crap. This is the PCIe cord. Oh, how did I not notice that? I thought for sure I checked. Oh my gosh, hopefully I didn't break anything. Oh, this is like misaligned now. Okay, fine. It popped in fine. Uh, fun fact, I actually was trying to rush through a build once, and I don't know how, but I managed to plug in a PCIe 8-pin to the motherboard CPU. Turned it on. It just did like a brief flash of light, did not turn on. I was like, great, what's going on? It took me like 30 minutes to figure it out because I wouldn't check that, right? I finally checked the CPU power and I'm like, oh my gosh, I put in PCIe and it still worked perfectly fine after I put in the CPU power. No issues. So crazy story. What do you mean you reloaded, goober goob? Oh, wait. The stream has 10 likes? Dude, on mine, my stream, it says I have 1 like, and that's me. Oh my gosh, this is another annoying thing about this case. I mean, this case is great, but like putting the CPU power through it is tough, especially with this motherboard. That's something you might want to do before you mount the motherboard is put your CPU power through, especially if you have a board like this that's a little bit wider, longer for some reason. Dang, this is hard with this case. If you ever mount your CPU cooler before you put this cord in, you might as well just unmount, especially if it's an air cooler. You might as well just take the air cooler off because it is pretty much impossible to get the CPU power in with that in there. I gotta see. Dude, it's so cramped. Amount of finagling. Bro, screw it. I'm just gonna take this thing front on. It is not going in there. Yeah, dude, this one is really cramped. I mean, It's because this motherboard has a huge I/O shield right here, or whatever you call it, VRM shield. There's literally no space. I think it will not fit with these cable extensions. I think the cord is too bulky. This is not going in. Oh, hallelujah! All right, it went in. It went in. Thank God. Just when I thought it wasn't. You think the best deals is the 970 non XT for 600? Okay, but here's the deal with that. I think honestly, you're right. I mean, if the 5070 is at what, $500, 9070 XT is 15% faster. 15% more than 500 is what, 575? So sure, you get an AMD product for a little bit less price performance than Nvidia, but you get how much? 4 more gigs VRAM. Now you got to ask yourself, how much are you going to use that VRAM? Because if you're playing at 1080p, you probably aren't. And DLSS looks way better than FSR at 1080p. I know FSR 4 is out. Honestly, guys, it's in hardly any games. So that's why I'm saying, honestly, I think 5070 for 500. You get in at a lower price. You get better price performance. Sure, you get a little bit less VRAM. If you're playing at 1080p, though, I think you're going to be okay until that card, you want to upgrade it, personally. Oh, goober goob. I do need to hydrate, bro. It's getting hot in here. Honestly, I don't know why it's taking me so long to do. I was flying through this one, and then it just took me super long to. I just got stuck on a few things, but I think we're ready to mount the CPU cooler, and then after that, the GPU. GPU is gonna be interesting. Oh, I forgot we've had it on here. I've been looking at the wrong camera. So yeah, guys, we're going to mount the CPU cooler now. Let's see if I can get a close up. All right, we're gonna mount the CPU cooler. Um, where the heck did I put it? Oh, it's this little dinky thing. I think it ought to be pretty good. Remember, peel the sticker. If you do not do this, you can officially unsubscribe from the channel because you are dead to me. I can't believe people forget to do this. I don't think I've ever once forgot, even when I was a noob. Okay, now we're gonna show you guys what I'm working on. Got my trusty thermal paste. It is the oh, I keep on. Oh, I can just hit space to. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know I could just hit space. Okay, that's why I've been doing on accident this whole time. This thing is called PT M28. Got it off AliExpress. Dude, my hand's in focus, but it's not. PT M28. Got it off AliExpress for like $5 a long time ago. It's just a big tub of thermal paste. Works fine for everything I tested on. Focus on this. I got a huge goop. Oh, that's way too much. I gotta take some of that back. Because honestly, it's too much still. I'll take some of that back. All right, dude. I just now noticed, dude. I just now noticed that the AMD CPU, the IHS, is so much smaller than Intel. Like, there's way less area there. Took barely any thermal paste to fill that up, and I used way too much. So let me go ahead and mount this CPU cooler. Couldn't plug it in. I forgot to plug it in last time. The CPU fan. Pressing down on the CPU cooler so I can get even pressure. So I'm going to press down on it and then also make sure I'm mounted on each side. All right. There we go. We mounted it and the CPU cooler is on. I like the way this one looks. What do you guys think? Dude, do I need to go drink some water? Should I go do that? Or should I thirst myself to death? Dude, I've been wondering that. Is the thermal paste is the thermal paste bad for you? Like if I touch it, does it like absorb into my skin? Is there like carcinogens in there? Because I'm worried about my health too. I think Goober Goob, I'm gonna keep on water fasting until you donate me more money. Goober Goob, because you keep on donating saying I need to drink water. So if I stop and I don't drink water, you'll just keep on donating. Okay. Time to get the GPU in this bad boy. Say goodbye to this magnificent view. Oh crap. It's heavy. It's heavier than I thought it'd be. Hallelujah. We got the 9060 XT. Forgive me, but it's the 8 GB version. I won Newegg Shuffle, and I got this thing for $200. So crazy value here, especially if you consider it's the same GPU die as the 16 GB version, which sells for like $370. So that's almost 100% markup just for 8 gigs more VRAM, which guys, I know the VRAM matters a lot, but at 1080p, you're probably gonna be able to max out most things with 8 gigs. And at sometimes, you know, you are gonna have a horrible experience. I know, but for $200, I don't think this is a bad deal at all. So this is kind of what it looks like with the good camera. We're going to do a live unboxing. I've actually unboxed this and got B-roll of it. Haven't really put the B-roll of this on the channel yet, just because I haven't talked about Radeon too much. But once I start talking about Radeon, I will show you guys the B-roll. I kind of wanted to make a video actually discussing the Radeon rumors of it being like, I don't know, like 50, 100% faster than like a 5090. Just, I want to discuss how basically the AMD fanboys come out in every generation without fail, hype this stuff up, and then it doesn't even come close to where it was supposed to be. I mean, I remember with like the 7900 XTX or whatever, they said it was going to be twice as fast as the 6900 XT. Like, absolute insane stuff. And then, of course, it came out and it was like, what, 40% faster? So the CPU is the 9600X. Okay. I've already peeled the plastic on this, like I said, because I did B-roll. This is the 9060 XT XFX edition. It's got one 8-pin. That's very helpful on a build, so I only have to use one cable. So yeah. I will go ahead and put this bad boy in for y'all. Sure you would like that. Let me go make sure, set it down like that. Make sure our slots are out. And that flew out. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's way harder building this stuff on stream. Like, I would have been done such a long time ago if I was just building this. And I know I ran into some issues, but I probably would have had like more of a level head and took that fan off and plugged it in beforehand. Like stuff like that. Um, I do like building on stream, but like, I don't know, like if I have like 2 or 3 more PC builds coming up, I don't know if I want to wait till do a stream. I might just like finish them and sell them, right? It all just depends how much you guys actually like these. I'm good. Let's go ahead and mount this thing. Oh, this cable's getting in the way. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. It's in. Just gotta find the screws I just used. Here is the cable extension. The GPU cable extension is actually the most important one. The second's the motherboard. And lastly, the CPU one doesn't even really matter. Because the GPU one really ties it together, right? You guys will see in a minute. Got to put these cable combs on first, unfortunately. And put 3 of them on. I wish there was a way for me to go back and look at y'all's live chat after the stream's over, but I don't think there is, which that's like bad on YouTube's part. Dude, I always go with black and white theme builds. They just sell really well. All right, this is the build. It looks pretty good. I like the way this looks. I'm going to take these stickers off before I turn it on. I didn't do that last time. You know your fans fancy when it has stickers. The funny thing is, if I was to buy Lean alternatives to these fans, it would cost more than the whole case for just 3 fans. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna put the side panels on, and we're gonna see how this thing looks when I fire it up. Ought to look pretty darn good. Key tip for cable management: you just kind of push it all back in there and cover it up, and no one knows it's there. That's how I deal with cable management. Sue me. Honestly, to be honest with you guys, I think I'm gonna leave that the side panels off because they kind of leave a glare on the computer, and you won't be able to see like the inside of it as well. So let's go ahead and just turn this bad boy on, and I'll show you guys what it looks like powered on. It's gonna look very similar to our build last week, actually almost identical. Does it work? I'll let you guys know if it works tomorrow. I'm not gonna set up Windows today. I'll set it up tomorrow in my garage. I have a whole setup for installing Windows and all that. You've probably seen it in a couple of my videos. It's just a little work desk, a little portable monitor, also 2.5 gig fiber internet wired from my router to my garage. Well, I just unplugged my camera. And I know we still have the DJI camera. I mean, I unplugged my other camera. Let's see if it's working. No, it's not. Okay, let me go over there and look at it. All right, should be working. Let me take a look at it. Deactivate, activate. There we go. Oh, and of course it's doing this to me. Hold on one sec. What about now? No? No, now it should work. Yes. Okay. Dude, I've been baking USB ports or breaking. Yep. It go boom. Okay. It's going to go boom in 3, 2, 1. Oh, this one's blue. Yeah, white. That's what daddy likes. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Since this has DDR5 and a Ryzen 9600X, I'm gonna try to list this thing for $999 and see what kind of offers I get, because it did cost a little bit more for the Ryzen platform, opposed to the Intel one, and I know it has so much more mind share. So I just want to see if I get any bites. If people offer me lower, obviously I'll take it. But I just want to see, like, will someone pay $1,000 for a 9060 XT and a Ryzen 9600X? You know, it's got 32 gigs of DDR5, 1 TB SSD. Dude, let me go ahead and pull the camera up. My face is I don't want to pull. This cord is like right in between my legs down here. I'm gonna switch cameras. All right, so I got a degree in nutritional sciences, and I got a master's and a bachelor's, and now I'm getting my PhD. So I do nutritional research at my university. I wrote a thesis and during my master's, and now I'm doing a dissertation. So I'm still going to school. I'm still a school student. Dude, this thing looks great. Wow. That's fun. I'm wearing shoes right now. I usually don't wear shoes in the house. I'm just wearing shoes right now because I'm live streaming, and it would be kind of weird to walk around barefoot. Okay, so here's the deal with the plastic bottles. They have this thing called BPA, and chemically it's similar to estrogen, like the shape of it. When I say chemically, like the shape of the molecule is similar to estrogen. So it can bind to receptors that can stimulate things in your body that estrogen would be similar to. Also, it can bind to testosterone, which neutralizes this testosterone, basically making it unusable. So yeah, we're just talking about plastic and water bottles right now. Zenbu Gaming just tuned in. Well, yeah, tonight's episode was a bit weird. I had a few problems. I cooked my USB-A port, and what else did we do? There was something else that I was fiddling with. I couldn't remember. But basically, yeah, I cooked my front USB-A port. Also, yeah, my audio didn't work at the start of the stream. Um, so stuff like that. Oh, okay. Tell me how you're saying say your name again, Taurus. I know you. It's something different. I don't want to scroll so far up there, but Taurus. I know I'm saying your name wrong. Of course, I'm gonna go enable XMP and Expo. I know how to do that. I do that on every single build. There's not a build I do not enable Expo. Even if I sell like an Optiplex or something, if it allows me to go tune the RAM, I'm gonna do that. Um, yeah, so I'm 100% gonna go enable XMP and Expo. Yeah, Goober Goob, how about you just start drinking soy milk out of a plastic bottle that's been baking in the sun and then take estrogen shots? Let me know how you are doing there. The USB 3 ports are salvageable. So, well, tell me how. How can I save them? I'll give you guys a different camera every now and then. Okay, so guys, I I know how to do AMD stuff. I actually have sold way more AMD builds than Intel builds. The 14600K build I did, few and far between. I've done 12600K builds, 13600K, 14600K, even a 13700K. But those are few and far between just because they cost a little bit more than Ryzen AM4. AM4 was so cheap. I was buying Ryzen 3600s off AliExpress for $50 with a $50 motherboard and putting like a 2070 Super in there, selling the build for $650, and people were happy. Well, I built it for like $450. It was great. Like that's like 50% margin. That time has passed just because I think, those AM4 CPUs, they went up in price a little bit. DDR4 is going up in price. And I just don't think they're worth it anymore for how much performance they're giving out and what GPUs they can support. I think LGA 1700 with PCIe Gen 5 support and also these CPUs that can pretty much match high end, almost like non X3D CPUs, are pretty good for the money. So I've been going with those, and I wanted to try an AMD build. This one was pretty good price to performance, so I went with it. Um, Dude, I'm telling you, man, a credit card's not gonna do nothing for this USB port over here. Like the wire, it's bent one way, then it comes around and it's bent another way. Okay? And then it's just up. It's like boom, boom, bent. It's not coming back. Ryzen 9900X on a dude, what AM5 motherboard can you find for $40.5? And no, you shouldn't do that. Yeah, the government is cracking down on AliExpress and Temu and all that. I mean, the tariffs hit and then it just wasn't a good deal anymore. And then I stopped buying. I don't buy anything off there except for my cable extensions now. Well, Turkey, I'm sorry I didn't respond to your comment. Hopefully you're still in the chat. That's really cool. Computer science degree is something I thought would be awesome to get. Jensen Wong, though, however, said that there will be no need for computer science majors or something. He said something like that because AI will replace them. We'll see if that happens or not. I think AI is going to replace us all right. Maybe I get a PhD and it's totally useless with AI. Who knows? What I think is, you know, that someone has to inform the AI, and PhDs are going to be very useful for doing research that feeds into AI. Like data is worth its money in gold. There's weight in gold, right? And that research you do, um, it really informs those studies, right? Yeah, this PC is beautiful, boys. 9060 XT Ryzen 9600. How long did it take to build the PC? Like, how long has this stream been going? Dude, we've been going for like an hour and a half. To me, that feels like a long time. Like, I usually finish these builds in 40 minutes. But I'm not like listening to you guys and stuff. Yeah. Pouring out for the AliExpress prices. It was goaded. So just let you guys know, this is what I would do with AliExpress, okay? This is the Wombo comp. I mean, I made videos on it. The real OGs in the channel know what I did. But this is what I would do. Okay? And I didn't have the best quality then, so I understand if you didn't watch it, but I go on AliExpress. I'd look for a Ryzen 3600 or Ryzen 5600. Ryzen 3600s often available for like 50 bucks. Okay. Then I get a machinist motherboard. It does the job. DDR4, PCIe Gen 3, NVMe, and then a Gen 3 X16 slot, right? Or that for about 45 bucks. Okay. So we're at like $95 for the CPU and the motherboard. Then I buy cable extensions and I also buy a Wi-Fi card. That'd come out to like 20, 25 bucks for both of those. So we're in for the motherboard, the cable extensions for like 120 bucks or so. Then I go to Amazon and buy RAM, 32 gigs of DDR4 for about 40 bucks. And I'd always find a GPU locally, something like a 2070 Super, maybe an Arc A580 on Amazon for like 150 bucks, around that price category. And once you cook with like a regular power supply, a case like this, you're looking at a $500 build that you can easily sell for $650, $700. Maybe not now, but a couple years ago, that was cooking. It was just like clockwork. I'm making 40% margin, pushing out 3 builds a month. People are buying them. It's just money. So the meta's changing. The meta's shifting towards LGA 1700. I'm telling you guys, LGA 1700 is really good values right now, especially on the used market, because people are scared of degradation. People don't want to invest a platform that's dead. But honestly, the CPU performance is great for what it is. It's all you're going to need until AM6 comes around. And then AM5, I'm skeptical, but it's starting to get there. It's just, I don't want to pay that much for 6-core CPUs, but the platform, the motherboard, and the RAM cost is coming way down to where you can make a case for AM5 as well. John Stamos. Let me look up John Stamos. I'm not big on celebrities. He sounds familiar. Oh, I've watched a show that he's been in. Well, cool, bro. He looks good. I look like Tom Cruise's son. No, Goober Goob. I have not done optimization for Windows. That sounds like literal hell to try to optimize Windows. Um, I'd probably just try to download the LOT version or whatever it's called, like the light version of Windows, and call it a day at that point. Mm. For me, I just believe in the brute forcing of that kind of stuff. Like, oh, Windows is taking resources. Okay, I'll buy a 20 core CPU and get 48 gigs of RAM clocked at 8600 mega transfers. Bada bing, bada boom. It's not an issue anymore. Dude, me personally, I think 6 cores should be at 100 bucks. Should be at 100 bucks, dude. You know how little amount of silicon it takes to build 6 cores? It's just that if that were the case, then they would be losing money on you not buying the 8 core processors, and the not they would have to lower the price of all of them, right? But for how long 6 core processors have been out, man, it sounds like I'm slurring. Um, I think that they should be like 100 bucks, dude. Especially something like a Ryzen 7500F with no iGPU. What Intel needs to do is with Arrow Lake, they need to lower the ding dong prices of their low end. Like the Ultra 5 and the Ultra 3 are like 200, 250 bucks. Like they're right where the Ultra 7 is. It makes no sense. Dang, boys. I'm like kneeling almost. So I'm like in the frame. Well, I guess I'm in this frame still. Long-term RTX is going to annihilate AMD in gaming. Bro, it already does, man. Like, okay. AMD's like me, I had a discussion with Frog Boy about this, and I can see this happening. AMD's drivers they're light, they're agile, and it's showing that they have. I haven't tested it. People have shown this. Modern RDNA 4 is having flatter frame times than RTX cards, and it's probably because of the driver overhead and whatnot. I could see, NVIDIA's drivers bloating because they support so many technologies. They're building off each other with CUDA for decades, right? While AMD comes out with a new architecture like every few years, and next gen's supposed to be based on UDNA or whatever, and that's a whole new architecture. So if AMD completely redesigns its GPUs every so often, they're going to be able to get bigger IPC gains, lighter drivers, and probably lower latency than NVIDIA. And that could make a big winner for gaming. But at the same time, compatibility for older games, compatibility for legacy software, and also just optimization in general is going to tank without software developers. And that's AMD's biggest weak point is they don't hire enough developers to work on their stuff. So we'll have to see how it plays out. I could definitely see AMD if they came out with like a 512-bit bus GPU. Oh, dang it. I unplugged it again. If they came out with like a 512-bit bus GPU and totally just wrecking the floor with NVIDIA just because they're more agile with their cards for just for gaming. And that's the thing. Like, do you want to spend $2,000 on a card that's just for gaming? Me personally, not interested. I want a card that can do everything if I'm going to spend that. I'm going to plug my camera back in. Okay. Dude, like, I mean, I get wanting to use a lighter weight OS and all, but Windows runs fine for me. It's snappy, it's quick. With this new PC I have, it's great. I don't have problems with Windows. I'm personally, with the amount of compatibility Windows gives me and whatnot, I'm totally fine using it. I like Windows, so I'm not really looking for a lighter weight OS. Maybe if I had an older computer that was just not up to the task, then I would consider that. But personally, for me, my PC's a beast. I don't need a lighter OS. It's fine with all the bloat. I know that sounds weird, but I'm not really annoyed by it. I use it for writing and for school, so I need some of the bloat. I need some of the features. So Prime Day is 7th through the 8th of October. I'll look forward to that. See if there's any deals or not. Sometimes there's not. Okay, boys, let me calculate how much this PC costs actually, because I haven't done that. So let's go through the list. The CPU was 190, but it came with RAM. Then I'm going to value that RAM at what? It was 16 gigs of DDR5. I'm going to value it $30. So I'm going to add tax on all of this at the end. So 160 for the CPU. The case was 65. Okay, the CPU cooler was 10. The and guys, tell me if I miss something or if I repeat twice. So far we have the case, the CPU cooler, um, and the CPU. And then the RAM, I'm gonna value at $50. It came free with my CPU, my 285 or 265K. What else? The motherboard was $100. The GPU was $200. Cable extensions were $15. The power supply was $60 before the rebate. And what else am I missing? I think that's it. Oh, the NVMe was $55. Okay. This one definitely did cost more. and then tax. So that's 715 before tax. That's everything though. 715 before tax. After tax 774. I know you guys can't even see that. Okay, so for real, that's not that good of a price for me, but I wanted to build an AM5 build. Like I said, this thing should have been like $100 cheaper with the 6-core CPU. You said $960. No, after tax, bro, this thing was $774. I'm gonna try to sell it for 1,000. We'll see what I get. It is an 8 GB card, sadly. I won a Newegg Shuffle for $200 8 GB 9060 XT. Now, here's the thing, the 9060 XT 8 gig is the exact same GPU die as the 16 gig. So you're getting, I forgot how much performant it is. I think it's like 4060 Ti performance, which is like, it's like RX 67 or it's like RX 6800 non XT performance, which is kind of good for $200. Like, think about that. Now, I know it's 8 gigs, but still, if you can fit it in that VRAM buffer, it's going to be pretty darn quick. It's because I won the Newegg Shuffle. That's how I got it for 200. Ever since then, I've been doing the Newegg Shuffle, and I have barely won anything. Now, I did also win this motherboard from the Newegg Shuffle. The motherboard was only 100. Usually, it's like 130. So Newegg Shuffle comes in handy, boys. You can get some good deals. Dude, Zenbu Gaming, I noticed that too. Intel, AMD, and Nvidia all have Asian CEOs, and now all their stocks are going up. That's all it took, man. When I saw that Intel got an Asian CPU or Asian CPU, Asian CEO, I invested. Hmm. Yep, it is a sick looking PC. Yeah, I gotta say, you got a free 9060 XT. Nice, brother. Thanks, bro. Yeah, the lighting, I gotta say, I like white lighting. I think it does look really good. Um, I like the slick design of the XFSF. Why do I always mess up saying that? XFX card. So I trying that. I can't even talk. I think it's getting too late for me, boys. I'm probably about to get off, but the XFX card looks pretty darn clean in this thing. It I can recommend their cards after trying this. Now, if they want to sponsor me and send me their next card, that would be kind of cool. But yeah, the problem is with this card is it only has 2 display ports and 1 HDMI. They kind of cheaped out on the displays. They don't have 4, but you ought to be fine with a card like this for that. Oh, it's coming through blue. What about this camera? This this DJI camera kind of looks really warm. I don't really like the warm look. So this is what it looks like. I mean, in person, it just looks white. It just looks white. It doesn't look blue. But on pictures, yes, it looks blue. But in person, it looks white. So, well, yeah, dude. I don't need to light the cables up. I mean, this is a low end build. I don't even light the cables up on my main rig. All right. Okay, boys. Well, this was a great stream. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Thank you guys for tuning in and donating and just hanging out. Let me know if I should do more of these or not. You know what? Let me do a vote. How do I do that? How do I do a vote on here? I got to figure out how to do this stuff. What the heck is going on? Dude, I know there's a way to do it. I've seen Frogboy do it. Oreo look to it. Bro, I do this color because people actually like it. Oh, hey, for the members in the chat, you actually get custom emoji. I just used one that says RTX on and it's an empty wallet. So for the two members we have that have joined our membership, go ahead and use your emoji. We also have Moore's Law is dead clown. All right. I like that one. Um, we have PC Master Race, and then we have someone blushing. All right. So those are the four emoji. If you think that's cool, you should become a member. It's only $1 a month. I mean, you won't even notice that, and you get to support Silicon Stake. And I'll actually know you by name because I'll see you on the membership tab. We only have 2 members. So let me see if I can figure out how to do. Moore's Law is dead. Yep. He's a clown. You know what? I think this will be better. I think I'll do a voting on my community tab on my channel so more people that didn't see the live stream can vote. And I'll simply just ask, do you want to see me do more PC building live streams? Because like I said, I have a couple more builds. They're going to be in the same case, same kind of deal, but we can sit around and talk while I build. And I think it's kind of fun, but just let me know. Do you want to see those or not? I'm working on a video right now. Let's just say I calculated the performance of next generation Celestial graphics cards, and it's kind of spicy. So you guys need to stay tuned for that. I don't know when I'm going to get it edited, but yeah, look forward to that. Other than that, though, I think we're good. Let's see if I can look at the chat. All right. Well, thank you guys.